Welcome to the shed. I'm Syd, Mackie's on the camera, and today we are going to be learning how to install a dropper post. For this task, you will need cable cutters, Allen keys, a crimper tool or needle nose pliers, cable and housing, ferrules and cable end, cable holding widget. Okay, I looked it up and apparently it's called a cable bushing, and a dropper post. So this cable bushing is extremely important. If you are buying a used dropper post, make sure before you purchase it that it comes with this.
Why are you installing a dropper post?
Well, because I ride like a ninny without one. Having a dropper post allows you to get your seat out of the way when you're descending or hitting drops. It allows you to get into a much deeper hinge and more aggressive riding position. They are really a great piece of technology. They make mountain biking more fun, and they're also pretty easy to install. So let's do this. So dropper posts can work in a couple of different ways. You can have a hydraulic dropper post like a SRAM reverb. We are not talking about that. We're talking about cable actuated, and cable actuated dropper posts work in generally one of two ways. So the one we're installing today is a Fox transfer. And for this post, the cable is gonna start on the post, go through the bike, and then go into the lever. Other dropper posts, like this one, which we will be putting on a road bike, stay tuned, in a couple weeks, we'll show you installing this one. But this one, basically the cable is gonna start in the lever, run through the bike, and then attach here.
And then the third option is externally routed, which most posts nowadays are internally routed, and most bikes have internally routed cable runs for dropper posts. But if you have an older bike, you may need to get an externally routed dropper post.
Or drill a hole in your bike.
Not that we would ever do that or recommend that.
Before. You have a lever. You push the lever. Wrong lever! Except in this case, it is the right lever. When you push the lever, that increases the cable tension. Cable bushing is gonna be sitting in there with the cable in it. Cable is pulled, this pulls down. As you can see, it's currently in the down position. So as that cable tension goes up, whoop, up it goes.
And then to do the opposite, you pull the cable and then you sit on it, pushes that down. So these are infinite adjust dropper posts, which means like it can be all the way down, it can be part way down.
As long as you're not pushing the lever, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it stays in place.
In theory. At the end of this video, we'll go through some common dropper post problems that often arise after you install the dropper post or after you change the cable housing. So make sure you stay to the end of the video for that.
All right, what's our first step?
First step is cable housing. So this is obviously an e-bike. That does mean you are in for like a little bit of inconvenience with the cable housing just because of the way the cables work. They have to be held up away from the battery, which is just kind of like a pain in the butt for running cables, basically.
So we are gonna have a video on running tricky cable housing. If we have created that video, we will put a card to it up in the corner.
All right, we got it. Okay, now I'm confused. So it comes out there. No.
No, it comes out back behind here and then runs up behind the shock.
Okay. It's good to pay slightly more attention to where your cable housing was before you pull it out. You've overshot. I guess we need to add to our list of tools like whatever you need to make your cable routing happen. Ta-da. Hallelujah. Good, we did it.
Next, let's put the bushing on the cable, run the cable through, and attach the post. Whichever piece attaches to this side of the cable is the side that you want to start with. So in this case, because this side goes onto the post, we're starting with the post. So Syd's going to feed that through the cable bushing.
It's going to go in here.
So the reason you use the cable bushing is because it's a nice circle that fits in that spot of the dropper post, whereas just the cable end wouldn't. You want to put a ferrule on the housing and then run the cable through the housing.
I'm trying not to swallow my ferrule. First I put the ferrule in here, I don't have to worry about swallowing it. It's the part where you wish you drank less coffee.
All right, there's the cable.
That's more like it.
Now you want to push the dropper post into the bike while you pull the housing from the other side.
Okay, it's fine, it's easy. Okay, something's not right. There she is. There we go, there we go, there we go.
Okay, at this point, we're gonna put Syd's saddle on and measure the approximate height that she wants, because that will then help us determine how long the housing needs to be. This is Syd's favorite task ever.
Well, these are better.
Oh yeah? Oh good.
Joe, look at that.
No, this side's not on.
Just kidding, I still hate it.
Those can unclip. Like,
Oh, but I don't, then I have to get them back on.
yeah, but then you can get the seat in there really easy.
I do think this is one of the most annoying tasks. Oh, maybe this is why I liked this one.
This is why you like
Okay, that's less annoying.
It's annoying.
I like that. Wow. Good job, Fox.
Syd knows what her saddle height or her saddle to bottom bracket measurement should be. So we're just gonna measure it so that it's pretty close. You can always adjust this afterwards.
Because it's better to have it be too high
Yes.
than too low.
Yeah.
Because we can always just have a little bit more cable. So this is going into there. That is definitely too long.
So run it approximately the length you want it to be.
So this is a potential pitfall area, correct? Because if you do it too short, when you turn your bars, your dropper post could go down. Okay, let's say we do it there. If we turn it, it's probably okay.
Give it an extra inch.
But just like for an example, if I did it to like here, which looks okay, you know, when the bike is straight, but then when you turn, it would put tension on the cable, which would make your seat sag.
Exactly.
So this is a very important step.
And you can always give a little bit extra because it just means you have slightly longer cables and it's not a huge deal.
I think that's good. So now we're gonna mark this. We are gonna pull this out and then pull the cable out so that we can cut only the housing.
Okay, so that should be far enough. I saw it disappear in here a second ago.
Okay. Oh, hand strength. That's helpful, thank you. Whee! There's just like an issue of not having enough hands.
You don't have to have it still attached to the post right now.
That's a hot tip. Okie dokie. Fine, I've got it under control.
So as you now start putting the post in, you want to make sure you're pulling on the cable, not the housing.
The housing is also moving.
The housing can also move, but if you pull on just the housing, then sometimes the housing will move without the post.
Cool, okay.
So now pull on the cable hard to make sure it's all the way through.
Oof, almost pulled over the entire bike.
Time to attach the lever.
You need a ferrule. I would say that really is like the hardest part with dropper post installs. There's just like a lot of little pieces, whether they're attaching to the lever or the post, or in this case, there's also this adapter, which is funny looking. Okay, let's see if we can just logically look at this and figure it out. Well, the ferrule is gonna go in there, right? And then I think this is the tricky part. It has to also go in this hole and then like around this bolt. So this goes here or in here or what the heck? Section like that, like this.
You're not using the right piece right now.
Okay, but not like that. I think we're on to something here. Takes a little finagling, but we got the lever where we want it. This is really hard to do from this angle, but it does appear like it is going down. Okay, so I'm wondering if I should pull the cable tighter because I feel like the throw is really far.
Well, you can do that, but also you do have a barrel adjuster.
Oh, cool. So to tighten, I'm going to loosen the barrel adjuster. That feels pretty good.
So with this lever on here, you have a couple adjustments. You can slide the lever back and forth. You have 2 attachment points, and you can rotate the whole thing up and back on the brake lever.
I can do it. Set your seat back up the way you want it, get your saddle angle the way you like it, and your seat height, and then you're ready to go. There are really 2 common issues with dropper posts, whether you've just installed it or just in general. Issue number 1 is when you sit on it, it goes down, and when you stand up, it goes back up again, which can feel like something is just magically going wrong and super broken, but if you were paying attention to the beginning of the video and you understand how a cable actuated dropper post works, you probably have already realized that That is happening because there's too much tension on the cable. This can be happening for a couple reasons. If you have made your cable housing too short and you are having this problem really only when you are turning, specifically turning it to the left, your cable housing is too short. What the heck, B? The other thing that could be causing this problem is your cable housing has essentially popped out of one side or the other. It could have popped out at the bottom of the seat post, thus sort of stretching the cable there, or it could have popped out at the lever. So if you're having the opposite problem and your seat post is not moving up and down at all, or is moving very slowly, it's probably also a cable tension issue. You probably don't have enough cable tension. However, there's one other thing that could be going on, and that is that you could have tightened your seat clamp too much. Over tightening the seat clamp essentially squishes the dropper post, which makes it harder for these stanchions to move through smoothly. If you've checked your seat clamp and that's fine, you will need to tighten your cable, which you can do at the lever, either by loosening the bolt and pulling more cable through, or by using the barrel adjusters. This is how to install a Fox transfer dropper post in under 1 minute. First, run your cable housing through the bike. Put ferrules on both ends. Next, put the bushing on the cable and install in the bottom of the dropper post. Run the cable through the housing. Insert the dropper post while keeping tension on the cable with your other hand. Put the seat post at roughly the height you will want and measure your cable housing, making sure to have enough slack so the handlebars can turn all the way. Mark the housing. Pull the seat back out so you can cut the housing without cutting the cable. Put the post back in while pulling on the cable, not the housing. Install the lever on the handlebars and then run the cable through the lever, pulling taut. Tighten the bolt. Cut the cable and install the cable end. Set your saddle and seat height back to where it was.